This episode of Harrison's Way is the Veida Special Edition. World Veida can be summarized in a few key points. People from Habo, crappy food, South Americans that look like people I know, Hadag Nachash, and the actual Veida. But seeing as how I have a few more minutes to kill, I'll go into a little bit more detail. World Veida is a summon of people from around the world that have one thing in common. They all go to Habodim Draw, the youth movement I've been involved with for about 10 or 11 years. All the Maskirut members, who are essentially the people that run the show in each country, come together once every 4 years and talk about the state of the world movement. This year we attended the 6th occurrence of these events. The countries people come from include Australia, of course, England, Hungary, Holland, South Africa, Mexico, Argentina and Uruguay. And a whole lot of others that I don't have photos of people from there. Crappy food doesn't really need to be explained. We were staying in a Hadasa, which is basically a kibbutz type of thing. It was very much like being back on Shnut, which has both its good and bad points. Now it's time to play South Americans that look like people I know. This is Yali, a Bulgarian from Melbourne. This is his South American equivalent from Uruguay. Farrell is year 12, also from Melbourne. And this is his Uruguayan equivalent. This is Dinger, my good friend from South Africa who I'm going to visit at the end of the week. This is his equivalent from Uruguay. His brother is called Ramon, and apparently Nato looks a lot like him, so all the Uruguayans were calling Nato Ramon for the whole of Veida. Thanks for playing South Americans that look like people I know. We had a few Pelot run for us over the 4 days, and then on the last night of Veida we had a really nice dinner before the closing ceremony, which was basically just a few speeches. Oh, and Hadag Nachash, one of the biggest Israeli bands, came and played for us. It was pretty freaking awesome. The last day of Veida was the actual Veida, where ideological and practical resolutions are put forward and voted on by the entire World Habodim Draw movement. The whole structure of it was a bit awkward, mainly because everything that was said had to be translated from Hebrew to English and Spanish. Veida went the whole day, and then the whole weekend was over. We did get some cool towels though. We went back to Tel Aviv that night, and then we all met up on the beach for a few drinks. We said goodbye to all our new friends from around the world and headed home. On the next Harrison's Way, I'll do an Israel roundup as I spend the last couple of days here, and then head to South Africa.
תשמעו סיפור קצר, אולי אפילו קצת מצחיק, על היום בו פגשתי את גבי ודבי עם המאג'יק סטיק. הלכתי לי ערב אחד לתומי, הסתכלתי סביבי, לפה ולשם, כשלפתע כולם דיברו באנגלית, וצבעם מתחלף לשחור.